Do you remember your first time in a tractor?
I do. Yeah, I was really young. Probably 4 or 5, just right out my back door. Went out and hopped in the combine and rode for quite some time.
Hello, my name is Lyndi Allen, your host for Illinois Corn TV, and today I am joined with Jacob Edens. He is an aspiring farmer and current Illinois State University student. Hi, Jacob. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Well, let's jump right in. Let's start out by getting to know you a bit more. What can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, so obviously my name's Jacob Edens. I was born and raised an hour north of Bloomington Normal in a small town called McNabb. I did not grow up on a family farm. I actually no ag in my family at all, but got into it at a fairly young age in high school. Was involved in FFA and all that stuff in high school, and then obviously now I'm down in Bloomington at a student at Illinois State University.
Awesome. So, yeah, you did not grow up on a farm, but what do you think drew you into farming at such a young age?
My biggest thing is my parents kind of influenced it. Obviously, growing up in like a rural community, agriculture was definitely around me. But being a boy at a young age, my parents they just bought a tractor or two, and I kind of caught on to it. As well as I had some family friends that farmed, so they would get me out and ride in the tractor with them in the spring and fall, which kind of I think heavily influenced my passion for it.
That's great. Do you remember your first time in a tractor?
I do. Yeah, I was really young. Probably 4 or 5, just right out my back door. Went out and hopped in the combine and rode for quite some time.
That's great. With your first job being on a farm, what's the hardest job you were given so far? And did you nail it the first time, or was it a learning process for you?
Yeah, so I mean, I can't necessarily pinpoint one, but I would say just um having my first job on the farm in general was a challenge itself. Learning everything about the industry and um the farm, how to operate equipment, maintenance on the equipment, what worked for this guy, didn't work for that guy. Just learning all of that was quite the challenge. And just getting past that was keeping an open mind and always be willing to learn because obviously I don't know everything and I'm still learning to this day.
Tell me about the process of finding and restoring your Ford 8N. How did you get it? What shape was it in? What did it take to get it running again?
Yeah, so like I said, my family doesn't farm, but I actually had a great aunt who lives out in the country, um, and she had this old Ford 8N, and so I was out there helping her one day, and she offered to pass that down to me because it was my great grandfather's, and when I got it, it was in rough shape, not awful compared to some of the stuff out there that vintage. Um, but when I got it, it didn't run, so I had to get it to run was the first big thing. And then going through fixing all the leaks, body work, and then I actually had someone paint it for me to, I guess you'd call it show quality. And then I took it to a couple shows, got first place in a couple areas. And it was also my FFA SAE as well project. So that was cool.
That's a really cool story. How long did it take from start to finish to complete that project?
Yeah, so I got it in the summer so I got it in July and by about early March of the following year I had it completed. So I moved along quite quick with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there a class, professor, or project at Illinois State University that you're proud of?
Yeah, so I would say I'm definitely most proud of being a member of the organization Alpha Gamma Rho at Illinois State. We were just recently rechartered down here in the fall of 24, so there's been a lot of rebuilding of sorts and doing things that I never thought I would be doing in an organization at the college level. I've also started a mentor program through the organization, which is which is quite fun. And being able to connect with alumni and create internship and job pipelines for my fellow brothers has been a very unique opportunity.
That's awesome. That sounds like a really great time. Congrats to you for starting that project. That sounds like a good thing. Well, now it's time for our not to be corny. What is the difference between an ISU student and a tractor? Any guesses? No?
No, no.
One runs on diesel and the other runs on caffeine.
Very, very true.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jacob.
Yeah, no problem.